So then you touched on this, that in journalism, you know, you had to do those teaching moments. You had those teaching moments. So are there any other like similarities between the journalism and the teaching that you've noticed? Like what from journalism have you taken into teaching?
Well, obviously the communication part of it, being able to talk, and this is one of the things I say I'm not sure I would have been as good at or as comfortable at without uh, journalism, was just the public speaking and communications part of it. I mean, you know me in college, I was kind of outgoing guy, but it wasn't my strength, and it's certainly
Right.
become more of that. But journalism too, for me, every day was fun because every day you got to go out and become an expert for a day in something that you may or
Mhm.
may not know as much about. And so I'm learning in order to tell other people about what I've just learned that day. So that's kind of how I approached it every single day, which made it more of a teaching aspect of, okay, what's this one part of this thing that is difficult to understand, or maybe a little tedious, or maybe a little in depth that I could figure out a way to make simpler for Joe Schmo watching the TV news. So that's kind of how I approached it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, teaching kind of went into every single part of what I do and do every day. Still,
Mhm.
it's kind of just my default position. So
Right.
Yeah, is there some way, like, have you learned how to tell a story in the classroom, like to kind of teach your students through the
oh yeah,
context
yeah,
of?
definitely it's storytelling and weaving things together. We did Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead, the other day, and I kind of went through and told the story of how the Spaniards came over and put their part into it, and you had the indigenous people over here and put their part into it, and luckily I have a few native speakers in my class that celebrated it as well, and so they were able to put their
Mhm.
part in, and we folded it in. It's every day I'm kind of telling a
Mhm.
story and kind of
Right.
working through whatever we're learning with them and a story, and they're engaged. I'm always surprised how engaged they are
Yeah.
with me, because you get up there and it's
Storytelling is
like
really
like
important for
yeah.
teaching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
How,
Marv's really good at it too, so that never surprised me, honestly. No, yeah, so
yeah. How does your skill with media help you in the classroom?
it's the funniest part is this year walking into this crazy situation where
Right.
Mm-hmm.
we were doing hybrid pretty much from the get-go, and approaching that issue of, all right, how in the world do I make sure that I'm teaching basically two classes at once effectively and able to talk and communicate with both online and the kids in class? And so, as soon as the first couple weeks of school and everyone's figuring out, especially this year when everyone was figuring out how do I make more space in my room, people started being like, "Oh, I've got a TV, I've got this or that, I need to get rid of. Somebody come take it." And so I was able to get a big screen TV. I was able to get another projector and a couple other tables that I needed, and
Nice.
just kind of rigged up a way
Right.
to have my computer and the projector and go into the TV, so that I had like three monitors and I could separate the Google Meet over here so I can see them. And then I have my phone as a camera on like a tripod. I mean,
Wow.
it seems more complicated than it is. And like my principal
Yeah.
came in and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
what people do to
"Thank you."
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I guess people our age kind of get a little bit more of the
Mhm.
technology stuff, but that was kind of my default. Was
Mhm.
okay. All right, I got HDMI here. I got this thing here. I can kind of plug this in here, and so the background engineering, like early radio and TV stuff
Right.
that I did, kind of came
Nice.
back to help out in a
Right.
moment,